Hello, we're in Paris for the second of 2 Diamond League meets in a week. The Stade de France played host to Europe's footballing elite earlier this summer. Now it's time for the stars of track and field, many still in peak fitness post-Rio. So there's an anticipation that records may be broken here. Tim Hutchings and Stuart Story are your commentators.
First event of the track, 400-metre hurdles for men.
And what a good race it should be. There's the line-up: Hand, Tinsley, Marghi, Capello, Coulson, Clement, Bett and Lahoulou. And the Olympic champion, Karen Clement, goes in this. Karen Clement, the champion, 3 times a world champion, twice in the hurdles, once in the relay. The Olympic champion this time, 47.73. A race in which 4 men went under 48 seconds. We haven't seen that for 2 seasons. We'd only seen one sub-48, and that was in the World Championship finals by this man, Nicholas Bett of Kenya. He's now the Kenyan number 2 behind Olympic silver medalist Boniface Tamuti. Well, that's Lahoulou of Algeria, Olympic Games semi-finalist. Season's best in Rio at 48.62. Been a dearth of sub-48 second performances until we came to the Olympic Games, and then 4 men did it. The Diamond League record is 47.62. How will the Olympic champion fare here? He is the Diamond League leader, of course, and Tinsley, who needs a really good race to set himself back up in terms of confidence. Bett is going well, but look at the Olympic champion, Karen Clement, down that back straight. Coulson, who was disqualified in the final, going well, but watch out for Capello in that orange vest. He's tough in the second half of the race. He looks easy, but this is a real good race. Bett's having a race of the season at the moment, with the Olympic champion Clement on his shoulder now as they come into the home straight. Watch Capello in that orange vest, as I said. Don't discount him yet. Coulson going well. Bett leading. Here comes Clement. Capello making a late charge, but Bett is going to take this, and what a race from the Kenyan. Bett gets it, and Clement in second place.
Well, what a run it was, but Bett, well, he's just got that inconsistency at the moment, hasn't he? The reigning world champion, who couldn't find that sort of form, anything like that time in Rio, where, of course, he did take the silver medal.
Nicholas Bett, 48.01, season's best. Karen Clement, 48.19, second. Yasmani Capello, 48.24 in third.
As we see, Clement leading the diamond race with 31 points from Coulson's 25. Tinsley on 24.
Well, the men's shot put was an absolutely terrific competition. Kurt Roberts spent the day fighting off Ryan Whiting for third place. It was the season's best of 20 metres and 78, which came in the third round, that saw off Whiting's, who's 20.65, and seen him into third place until this time. Ryan Krauser, 21.28 in the first round, then 21.33, and this was sensational. 21 metres and 99 centimetres, and that, of course, was a new meeting record, taking the record held by Werner Gunther of Switzerland, set in 1992. Tom Walsh had already in the second round established the first record, which we saw Krauser beating there. But this 6th and final round saw Tom Walsh, the New Zealander, second in the diamond race, the Olympic bronze medalist, launch this 16-pound ball out to 22 metres. It was absolutely first class. Came here with a personal best of 21.62, and goes away with a best of 22 metres, and that is the new meeting record. It was absolutely first class. Well, there it is, Tom Walsh, 22 metres. What a competition, with the Olympic champion, 21.99 in second, and Kurt Roberts, 20.78 in third. Well, there are the points. Walsh now, look at that, 38. Kovacs, 34.
Well, the ladies have been waiting patiently down on the track for the start of this women's one-lap race, the 400 metres. 3 Rio finalists, plus the silver and bronze medalists from the European Championships in Amsterdam go in this race. The meeting record, 49.15, back in 2004 by Tonique Williams-Darling, is faster than any woman has run this year.
Set.
Well, Hastings in the lighter shorts, their centre of the echelon, has gone off very quickly, already closing down on McPherson. Only about a metre behind her after 150 metres of track behind them. Hastings certainly leading, although Adekoya in lane 3 has gone off pretty strongly too. Now McPherson getting better into a running left of picture and beginning to ease away from Hastings, who's steadied right down. Is she going to surge off the bend? McPherson it is, who probably leads at the moment. Here comes Hastings again, working harder with her arms. Still going well is Adekoya in 3, although Zelniak running strongly in lane 2, moving, challenging for 3rd. Hastings now gets onto the shoulder of McPherson. These two battling it out once again. It could be the order of the Olympic Games from these two. Hastings takes her by a metre and a half. 50.08 from Natasha Hastings. Well, that is very, very close to a season's best of 49.90. She worked all the way for that. Really judged that race to perfection, didn't she? 50.06 from McPherson's 50.33. There was just a couple of metres in it, with Day a little further back in 3rd. Well, the women's discus competition tonight. And Caballero in 3rd place. Indeed, just one valid throw for Caballero from her series. That was it, 61.98 for the reigning world champion from Beijing last year, coming in round 2. She was 3rd at 3 Diamond Leagues pre-Olympics, and same so is maintained for the Olympic bronze medalist. Robert Michon using her best in round 6. This one going out to 64.36 for the French, who is her best, almost a 67-metre thrower. She did take the silver in Rio, did the 37-year-old. That a fabulous effort at that senior age, but Perkovic, of course, on top in Rio and very much on top here tonight. She opened with a modest 61.75, saved her best to last though, matching that roar as the 6th round effort goes out to 67.62, retaining her title in Rio from London. World champion back in 2013, of course, in the discus, undisputed world #1 in this current age. Had only one valid throw in Rio, did Perkovic, but that's all it takes. Tonight, just one foul in a solid series. That winning effort, 67.62, over 3 metres better than Robert Michon, with Caballero down in 3rd. Jade Lally, 61.45 in 4th. And Perkovic leading with 60 points, completely uncatchable there in the diamond race.
Well, next up at men's 800, it's mouth-watering, really. 6 of the Olympic finalists are in this race. There is the lineup: Damani, Suleiman, Kitilit, Beryan, Kashot, Lewandowski. That's just part of it. And then we've got Bos Rotic, who's the Diamond League leader, then Kipkeita, Makloufi, and then Melli, who will pace, and Nick Kipkoech makes up this very big field indeed. 2 laps of the track. There's the pacemaker. He paced the 1,000 metres in Lausanne, incidentally. Kipkoech next to him at 1:43.37, incidentally, in April, but nothing recently. He was second in the 1,000 metres in Lausanne, the Diamond League. Well, Makloufi, what about this man? The Olympic champion. He got a silver in the 1,500 and the 800 metres in Rio de Janeiro. Going very well indeed. Rotic is the Diamond League leader, I should say. He's 5th in the Olympic final, 1:43.55. Looks strong. Boss, of course, is always a threat. 4th in the final, 1:43.41. The first 3 were sub 1:43 in that final, and 4th and 5th were sub 1:44. So, and there's Kashot. He didn't make the final, incidentally, but he had a semi-final of 1:44.70 and didn't make it. It's the best non-qualifier in Rio not to make it. Lewandowski next to him did. He made it and was 6th in that final. The 2 Polish athletes together. Beryan, the American champion, made the final. and came in 8th place. There's Suleiman, the Olympic World Championship bronze medalist, won that 1,000 meters in Lausanne in the 5th fastest time of all time in 2:13.1949. That was a couple of days ago. So Damiani, the Frenchman, he's got a personal best one at 1:45.51. So last time we saw him was in Monaco, it was 7th. There's Kip Keita, there's Rotic, a man who of course went to the games as well, was 5th in the final at 1:43.55. There's so many men in this race, there's no clear-cut winner. So the men's 800 meters. Now Melli will have to get out, and he's asked for a very quick first 400 meters, 49.5, and he goes up very quickly. Suleiman is there, and Berrien as well, as he likes to lead us. He's up in that leading group. Suleiman there, Melli coming across now. Berrien is there, as I said. Rotic is tucked away in the inside. Damiani is there in about 4th place in the race proper as they come round the bend and will enter the straight for the first time. Suleiman, Berrien, Kipkoech. And also in there is Kitilit of Kenya.
Well, Stuart, Suleiman, if he's recovered from that very good 1,000 in Lausanne, 48 hours ago, will use his 1,500 metre run as strength here. Remember, he's a world indoor champion at 1,500. And certainly he's kicking on harder. He wants to really test this field.
Well, Suleiman down the back straight, Kitilit in 2nd place. In 3rd place is Damiani, the Frenchman, running very strongly indeed. Boss right on the inside going well. Kipkoech right on the outside with him, and Makhloufi now making his way on the inside. Is there a gap? He's in 5th place as they come into the straight. Makhloufi now in 5th place. Suleiman under pressure from Kitilit now as they enter the home straight. And this is going to be a cracking finish now. And Kitilit comes into the lead. Makhloufi's charging down fast, so is Boss. Bosser as well. Kitilit coming away with this at the moment, or is he? Or is this going to be Rotic, I think, is it? Who's come through to take that race right at the end. It was Kip Keita, in fact. Makhloufi finished fast. Rotic was there. What a finish. Kip Keita it was, 1:42.88. What a wonderful race indeed that was.
I thought Makhloufi would come through, Stuart, but maybe the races of Rio, and indeed that 1,000 a couple of nights ago, still in his legs. Kip Keita comes through like a train over the last 50, flailing arms, but he covers the ground well. And that's a super time to boot, a new personal best.
Kitilit looked good. It looked as though he might be the man, but Kip Keita came from about 6 places back. I thought it might be Rotic, but in fact it was Kip Keita. And my goodness me, 1:42.87, a personal best for him. Wow, look at the result of this. It was quick. We said they might be slow after the games, but my goodness, 1:42.87. Makhloufi, 1:42.98. Kitilit, 1:43.05, a personal best. Then Rotic, he was closing fast, just out 1:43. The Poles left behind here, but 2 seasons best and a personal best for Damiani of France, who was in the race in the early stages, but then faltered.
Not often, Stuart, you see a 1:43 clocking take 8th place.
Absolutely. Rotic then on 33 still holds on to the lead. Boss 27. Kip Keita with that 10-pointer comes to 14. Well done to him.
Well, we go to the pole vault now.
And this fella, Sean Barber, had a disaster in sporting terms in the Olympic Games. 5:50 went out. He said that the resin that he uses just didn't work with the wet, with the rain. Well, I would have thought that a world champion would have known that. Very, very quick on the runway, and that's a good clearance too. So we look as though we're going to have a good competition. There's hardly any wind out there. It's perfect conditions. Ruth Petier, the Olympic champion. Look how she leans away. Oh, lovely technique. She's tall, a much steadier approach. Really drives that inside knee skyward and then gets the arch into the back. 193, still leading. Well, we've got a steeplechase coming up now, and it's a very good one, Tim. We've got some big names in this.
We certainly have. The top 5 from Rio go here. In fact, 8 of the top 10 at the Olympic Games. The quality and depth is improving on the world scene all the time in this discipline. The race includes the Olympic champion, the world champion, the Commonwealth champion. The only significant absentee is Geisa Krause of Germany, the European champion, as well as Griebe, the 2012 Olympic champion, although she was only 12th in Rio. Emma Coburn will be looking to put up a substantial challenge here to Ruth Chebet, the Olympic champion. Pruitt of Jamaica and Tweegong of Kenya are the pacemakers. There is Ruth Chebet, the Olympic champion, the second fastest athlete in time, only 19 years old still.
On your mark.
So, will they go with the pacemakers? We're looking at around 3 minutes for the first kilometre from Caroline Tweegong, who is a 9:28 athlete herself. But if Chebet is up to the challenge here, and Hyvin Kieng as well, the reigning world champion, well, we might see something rather special here. Chebet slotting into about 6th place at the moment, in fact 5th place. You can see Coburn on the outside there, back in about 8th place at the moment, as Tweegong and Aisha Pruitt, who was 14th in Rio. A rarity as a middle distance runner from Jamaica. She was reinstated too to the Rio final after a fall in her heat. And it looks quickish because they're stretched out already.
Yeah, they've certainly, it does look quick, doesn't it? They've started off very well. And you talk about Chebet, we first saw her in Eugene, if you remember. She broke 9 minutes there. That's the only other time she'd broken 9 minutes. And she raced away from the field. It was very much a demonstration. She raced away. Kieng couldn't stay with her, and they thought, well, she might come back to them, but she didn't. And that's where we first saw the quality of the young athlete, and really she was mature beyond those years, most definitely. There she is in the middle of that group, Kieng, the world champion, alongside her. But it's well spread, and it'd be interesting, Tim, to see whether the Australian can approach the Australian record. Madeleine Hills of Australia, she's only a couple of seconds outside the Australian record that was set back in 2008. So it'll be interesting to see if she can function well in this race. 5:61 his first attempt. Now normally he would wait later, but he's been having a few problems with his opening height. He failed his opening height at the European Championships, and of course he got beaten in the Olympic Games. And he breathes a sigh of relief to get over the opening height for him, 5:61. Well, he has had his problems. He's a 6-metre vaulter at his very best, the Olympic champion in London. Twice the world indoor champion, went over 6 metres indoors. But that was a little bit of a fall away to the side.
Well, a spectacular first kilometre time, 2:56.36, much quicker than the Olympic final, where Kieng went out in 3:05, Chebet rather, and she leads at the moment from Kieng. Jetkovic in 3rd place, although these two beginning to get away. It is Kieng in 2nd place, the world champion. Her steeplechase personal best, wait for it, is quicker than her 3-kilometre flat time, Kieng. Quite bizarre. She hasn't pursued flat personal bests at all. She's only run 15:42 for 5,000, but Chebet here is really attacking this, and if she can maintain this middle kilometre tempo, we could be onto something very special indeed here. The world record, remember, 8:58.81 by Gulnara Galkina at the Beijing Olympic Games over 8 years ago now. Kieng just feeding off the front-running Ruth Chebet of Bahrain, the Olympic champion.
There was a big gap between Kieng and Chebet in the Olympic Games, but Kieng desperate to hang on to her here. But look at that, there's a subtle increase of pace down that back straight and into the back straight by Chebet. How could she have such talent at 19? 8:59.75 she ran in the Olympic Games, and as many observers, and Tim has already mentioned, that world record could well have been in her pocket on that occasion, and whether tonight it will be, and it could be. Certainly the conditions are perfect, the opposition is perfect, a world champion chasing you, but she likes to run this way, doesn't she?
Well, she comes into the straight now, and Kieng beginning to ease away, Chebet, I should say, easing away from Kieng in 1st and 2nd. Jetkovic in 3rd, being reeled in by the chasing group. Coburn in 4th place, leading that pack of some 6 athletes between 4th and 9th place. Chebet glancing up at the big screen regularly. As long as she hits 2 kilometres in around 6 minutes, the world record could still be on. Remember, 2:56 for that first kilometre. In Rio, her first kilometre was only a click inside 3:06, and she's easing away from Kieng now. The Olympic silver medalist seems beaten. If Ruth Jabet has really worked out her pacing here better than she did in Rio, I do believe something historic could be unfolding in front of us. Certainly I felt that with the split she produced in Rio, she is capable of something a long way below 9 minutes, well inside the existing world record. 5:54, it's a 2:57, that is just about perfect. And at the moment, she could run about a 3:04 final kilometre and still break the world record. As Ruth Jabet, at the age of 19, the Asian Games champion in 2014, the Olympic champion this year, the first Olympic champion of Bahrain after Jamal's bronze in London, ran the fastest heat time ever in Rio. It looked extravagant with a 9:12, but then she just blasted that time by some 13 seconds come the final. 2 laps to run, and she's got about 2.5 minutes in which to do them to break the world record. Kieng running on bravely, but isolated now in second place. Has a gap behind her, Stuart, about 70 metres. Coburn back in third place, beginning to ease away from the pack.
But this is just a sensational piece of running, and she looks as though she's pushing on even better. The world record is certainly in danger here. It's looked like it on the 3 occasions I've seen her run, but certainly she's got away from the world champion and is now on her own. But she enjoys running on her own. She did that in Eugene, and of course in the final stages of that Olympic Games, that final, she went away. And unless something extraordinary happens now, we are on for a moment of steeplechase history.
Bizarrely, she's got no good times on the flat. 4:13 for 1500, 9:09 for the flat 3000. She's some 10 seconds quicker than that over the barriers. She's only run 32.5 minutes for 10k on the road, but she comes to the bell now. Does Ruth Jabet for Bahrain. 19 years of age, goes through in 7:43, and the world record is on. She can cover this lap in about 75 seconds and still break the world record. This was threatened in Rio, but remember that run in Rio came after an unnecessarily extravagant run in the heats where she ran 9:12. Here she goes. Each of these barriers, just get over them well. Memories of the men's steeplechase here in this stadium last year have to be banished from the minds of those who were present as she gets down the back straight with 250 to run, looking a little bit tired. That looked like a rather fatigued clearance of that barrier. She has one water jump to come. Ruth Jabet with 200 metres to run, 8:24 on the clock. The water jump for the final time. Enter the straight now, and one barrier to go for Ruth Jabet. The world record from 2008 by Russia's Gulnara Galkina is living on borrowed time. That was 8:58.81. 50 metres to run for Ruth Jabet. Look at the clock. It's going to be an astonishing world record from this delightful former young Kenyan running for Bahrain. Crosses the line in 8:52 and opens up a new era in women's steeplechasing. The quality and depth has been improving markedly. 29 women under 9:30 this year is unprecedented. Well, now we have a young lady who's gone a long, long way under 9 minutes. In Rio, she could have been Olympic champion with a world record. She chose to save it, and the decision was right. There it is, 8:52.78, a marvellous world record, an over 6-second improvement for the young Bahraini. Hyvin Kieng behind the 19-year-old there, taking second place with 9:01. And the place times absolutely superb. The first 8 athletes under 9:20. Well, Jabet with 36 points, ironically, can still be caught by Kieng come the final. 32 points for Kieng in second place. Now, Sam Kendricks, in good form, of course. Winner in Lausanne, 5:92, ahead of La Villenie. Oh, squeezes over that one. Looked like he kissed it with his shins, his knees, the front of his thighs. And Kendricks there, going clear at 5:81. Ironically, first time after a couple of second-time clearances. The 2 previous heights. When he doesn't train, he serves the US Army as a second lieutenant. In Rio, in mid-stride in qualifying, he stopped to stand to attention for a US national anthem. Back to this triple jump now. Alexis Coppello. Nobody getting out to 17 metres as yet. That one, well, it was very close to 17 metres. He was looking closely. They normally know pretty closely, within an inch or two, of what they've jumped. But for him, 16 metres 85, a consistent series, but just not hitting the big marks. Chris Carter then. Well, Carter opened with 16.61, then 16.37. Did a big jump in the third round, 16.92, which took the lead and has retained the lead. Carter, the winner of the triple jump, a long, long way behind the board with that sixth and final effort. That one coming down at 16.49, but he does take the win. Confirmation of the American leading home, Coppello and Murillo, second and third, as we see that Taylor leads the diamond race by a big margin with 40 points from Coppello's 26.
The next event on the track, the women's 200 metres, Yatamo of France, Porebniak of Ukraine, Nelson Australia, Brandini USA, Schippers of the Netherlands, Talou of the Ivory Coast, Facey Jamaica, and Henry of Great Britain. Well, not a great deal in it on that bend. Talou has gone off very quickly indeed, and Schippers now. Talou's pulled out. He's obviously got a muscle problem there. Schippers leads. Brandini on the inside in second place at the moment, and Schippers really charging. And Henry going well on the outside lane too. Schippers gets there in second place. Oh, it could have been Henry over Brandini, and that's a very good run for her if it is. 22.15.
Well, Brandini ran a brilliant bend, but Schippers just maintained her form, worked harder, eased away, and indeed brilliant run there from Desiree Henry to come through, Stuart, as you say quite rightly, to a big personal best, 22.46 for the Briton.
Schippers 22.13. Henry personal best 22.46. Brandini 22.48 in third place. Well, there it is, Schippers 36 points, Facey 12, and Huri with 10. Koznitsky of the Ukraine then, his second throw. 86 in the first. He did that quite well. Oh yes, that's close to 85. That, I think, will be the lead. It'll be close to it anyway. There's hardly a breath of air in this stadium. The flags are lying alongside the pole. There's no movement. Yeah, it is, 84.08. No movement whatsoever.
So, Renaud Lavillenie then. Third attempt at 5.81 for the Frenchman, the Olympic silver medalist. Oh, that's nice, yes. And when things aren't going brilliantly, you can celebrate these small victories. Cleared 5.61 first time, 5.71 first time, 5.81 there under real pressure. Third time cleared. It's a monstrous sigh of relief there to vault on in front of the adoring home fans. And he's well clear there, actually. Plenty of height between the world record holder and the bar. He hasn't been firing on all cylinders in recent weeks. Well, the women's 1,500 metres next on the track. The athletes out on the track and lined up on the far side. 17 starters with 2 pacemakers, and what a race it promises to be. After 2 fabulous middle distance races already, 9 of the Rio top 10 are here, can you believe? 10 of the fastest 15 in the world this year, including Faith Kipyegon, the Olympic champion. Judy Kiang goes as one of the pacemakers here. She will be the second pacemaker behind Ukraine's Tverdostup. Well, Winnie Chebet, semi-finalist in the Rio 800, Zoe Buckman, 7th in the World Championships last year, McGeehan of Ireland, European Championship bronze medal at 1,500, Shannon Robury, US record holder, 4th in the Olympic Games, looking for some compensation here. Tsegay, Sado, Seom, Hassan, very experienced, of course, the 5th placer in the Olympic Games. Jenny Simpson, the bronze medalist, that fabulous, perfectly judged unfolding of that Olympic 1500. What a bizarre race it was, passing Laura Muir, who held until 3rd for so long for Britain, ended up in 7th place. Muir, the recent British record holder, 3rd in the bell at Rio. One way of interpreting this race is half a dozen young Africans against the veterans, the 2 veterans from the USA, Jenny Simpson and Shannon Robery, both north of 30. But Kipyegon, while defeating Genzebe Dibaba in Rio, that was a huge upset, of course. Genzebe Dibaba, the Olympic champion, is the only absentee here of real significance. The world record holder took the Olympic silver behind Kipyegon. But I wonder whether or not Kipyegon, only 22 herself, will be fired up by news of that astonishing world record from Ruth Jabet 10 minutes or so ago in the steeplechase. 8:52 if you've just joined us, from Jabet to smash the world record by over 6 seconds. Tversdrup for Ukraine, 37 years old now, but a very experienced pacemaker. We're looking for 64 seconds exactly from her, and then Kieng to take over through to 800 and 2:08 and 1,000 metres in 2:40. I'm a little surprised they haven't asked for something a little quicker, Stuart, when Kipyegon is clearly in shape to run something in the low 350s after the way that Olympic 1500 unfolded. She ran 1:57.2 for her last 800 in Rio.
Well, you don't very often see that, and nor should you really. But this is, I enjoy watching Laura Muir of Great Britain run. She's always up there or thereabouts in these kind of races. It didn't quite work for her. She tried to go with it in the Olympic Games, didn't quite work for her. Strategy not quite right. But look at Jenny Simpson there. She's been here for a week. She's in, 4th place in the race behind the pacemaker. She's one of the most experienced athletes. Remember, she won the world title in 2011, got a silver medal in 2013. She's been in the major championships, but this is now stringing out, so it's a respectable pace, that's for sure.
Well, they went through 400, at least Tversdrup did, in 63.97. I'd like to say that's perfect, because we were looking for 64, but of course that does mean the athletes behind her have gone through in 64.5, high 64s, and that's a little on the slow side as they come down below us, with Kieng in 2nd, Laura Muir in 3rd, then Kipyegon, the Olympic champion, in 4th. Jenny Simpson is up there as well, right on the shoulder of Kipyegon, I should say, in 4th. Hassan in 6th place, Sado, then Robery in 8th, and Seom, who ran so strongly last year, 2:09 at 800. And that's on the slow side, it really is. That's a shame. But how well can they finish here? Kieng takes over, looking for around 2:40 at 1,000, and that's why the acceleration has gone in from her. She knows that second lap was too slow. Laura Muir has gone with it. Now, Britain has the ability to hold this. I thought she misjudged the Olympic final badly. I think most observers did too, although chatting to Laura yesterday, she said she's proud of what she achieved. She thought she did everything right. Well, there's not too many pundits of the sport who would agree with that, but she looks to be getting it right here, Stuart, as she really surges now with 450 metres to go. And the chase is on from those behind. Hassan recognising the danger.
Well, they've seen Muir do this before, and she has now, with 400 metres to go, got 2 or 3 metres on. Those, I guess, in form at the moment with Kip Sang.
Well, Muir it is who leads through with 300 metres to go. 1,200, 3:10. They've just run, what, a 61-second lap. And Muir driving on hard down the back straight. Hassan trying to get back on terms. Kipyegon looks beaten on this occasion. Simpson and Robery as well, a long way back. And this is the ideal unfolding of a race for Laura Muir, the Scot. The Brit so disappointed with her 7th place in Rio as she saw one body after another go past her in the last 300 metres. Into the straight now. And the attack is coming, but it's not going to get there, I think. Kipyegon in 2nd place now, just eases past Hassan, the Olympic champion, in 2nd place. But Laura Muir now, this is what she wanted in Rio, a much more representative run from the Briton. Watch the clock, oh my word, 3:55.24. She has smashed the British record, and that's indeed the fastest time in the world this year from Laura Muir. We knew it was coming. It's a meeting record to boot for the Scot, and that had to be possible. She looked so fantastic in Rio, but misjudged it, in my humble opinion, when she followed Dibaba's almost suicidal surge from halfway through to about 200 to go when Kipyegon eased past her for that astonishing statistic, that last 800 in well under 1:58 for the pair of them. But Muir has beaten a great field here by a goodly margin. 3:55.20 to a meeting record, a world lead and a British national record for the Scot. Kipyegon second, 3:56.72. Hassan 3:57.13. Rowbury 3:58, a season's best there in fourth. Brilliant place times in that women's 1500 metres. Well, Kipyegon on 36 points, Laura Muir on 28. Could catch the Olympic champion come the final if Kipyegon doesn't have a good run.
Now what can Trust achieve here? It's an important jump. It's a final jump. No, that's the end of her competition. At 193 clearance, 3 failures at 196.
Spencer, the other athlete, left in. Time best of 198.
Yeah, well, she's attempting that right now, isn't she? So it's a real test for her. Mind and body, really. Set that personal best back in 2010. Oh, no. Yeah, just once, just lost the confidence as she approached the bar, drifted through it. That's a first failure at 198. She's got a season's best, but Beatty on the last height looked very, very comfortable indeed. And 198, very much in her compass, and that's a fabulous jump indeed. 198 equals the season's best, and there looks to me to be more to come. I understand that Laverne Spencer may be not feeling well. Look at that clearance. That is an astonishing clearance. That's as good as it gets, really. That's 2 metre plus jumping. If she can maintain that, then we could see 2 meters here.
Now Vadlec of the Czech Republic, a nation with such a proud tradition, and rightly so, in the javelin. The 25-year-old, 8th in the Olympic final. 3rd round for Vadlec. Only 76 meters in round 2 after a no throw, and that's big. Oh my word. Round 87, 88 meters there. He's really hit that one nicely in a windless stadium, not getting any help at all from the conditions. It's a really heavy night, the air is thick, and anything around 85 meters plus is special in these conditions. There's no doubt about it. Kozinski threw 84.08 in the 2nd round, but that takes the lead, and a new personal best, no less.
Weber then 83.87, 3rd round of this javelin competition. It's starting to liven up now. Always hit that well. Oh, that's about, oh, look at that. That's about 86, 50, 87-ish. Well, Weber really now beginning to hit that javelin, hit that very hard. What a fast arm he's got on the end of the rest of it. Former European junior champion. He's only 21, so he's the future. And remember, you've got Thomas Röhle, the Olympic champion, also in this competition. So that is a throw to be celebrated. Now, what is it? 87.39, and that's a great, great performance. Just short of his personal best. So Thomas Röhle, you need a distance here because he's down in 5th. He was 6th, remember, in the European Championships. Needs something a bit better than that here. He's a 90-meter thrower at his best, 91.28 this year in June, and that's just shy of the 85-meter mark. He's not happy, is he? He's not happy at all. It's just around about 84 probably. Not quite getting the timing right. There's so much that can go wrong. A little shake of the head. His teammate, the javelin throwers, back in German hands at the moment. 84.16 in third place.
Fadlich winning the javelin at 88.02 with that personal best ahead of Weber's 87.39. Roller, the Olympic champion, having settled for third place in Paris. Renaud Lavillenie with a third-time clearance at 5.81. It was a last-gasp effort from the Frenchman, the Olympic silver medalist. But now, second time at 5.87. Kendricks has already had 2 failures. Oh, that's nice, and now the pressure is applied to the American. And isn't it lovely to see him celebrating with the pressure of an Olympic final behind you? This is a mere nothing. And I think the wearing your heart in your sleeve and friendship and camaraderie can be a little bit more evident than it might have been a week or so back. He's going well. The illness of Lausanne clearly appears to have left the body, and Kendricks, well, the question to be asked of him now.
Sam Kendricks then, 5.87, third and final attempt. Won over Lavillenie a couple of nights ago. Can he do it again? No, he can't. But a great competition once again. The Frenchman this time wins over the American, 5.87, 5.81. I just wonder whether Lavillenie will move on. Well, there's the lineup for the women's 100 hurdles. Bilot of France, Harper Nelson, USA, Rolleder, Germany, Harrison, USA, Stowers, USA, Ofili, Great Britain, Hildebrand, Germany, Gomis of France. Well, Cindy Ofili had a good Olympic Games, just missed out on the podium, was fourth with 12.63, ahead of sister Hildebrand, that's Nadine Hildebrand, twice European Championship finalist, best of 12.64, and Sandra Gomis of France, right on the outside. They ran from lanes 2 to lane 9, so lane 1 not being used. So the women's 100-meter hurdles. Harrison in lane 5. Can she run another fine run, or will the others challenge? Away this time. Harrison's got away well. Stowers not going too well at the moment, and Feely going quite strongly. Here comes Harrison now taking away this field, and Harper Nelson going well. Harrison's going to win this one. Harper Nelson second, and Feely, I think, third place, and that was 12.45. So she's really running an awful lot of quick times. The meet record, incidentally, still stands. It's 12.32 to Ludmila Enquist of Russia, set back in 1992. But certainly the world record holder made easy work there. 12.44. It's been rounded down just a little bit. And, Harper Nelson was second, 12.65. Season's best for her, and it was a Feely in third at 12.66. She just makes room for these hurdles. Beautiful technique. Not quite as fine as we've seen. I've said on several occasions that this is as good as you get, and it is really very close to that. Just a couple of tenths off her own world record, but my goodness me, she's such a good sprinter too. The race is perfect for her. Let's confirm all of that. Kendra Harrison, 12.44. Dawn Harper Nelson, 12.65, season's best. Cindy Feely, 12.66 in third place. Good win over Jasmine Stowers. Well, there's the points. Harrison, look at that, 50 points. That's unassailable.
As we go back to Lavillenie now, the bar at 5.93, second time clearance at 5.87, has him won the competition, has the stage to himself. Ooh, gives it a click, but it stays up. The celebrations continue for the Frenchman in front of the home crowd. Well, you can never make up for the disappointment, and boy, did he show it, of that silver in Rio, which he wanted to be the colour he took in London. But 5 meters 93, it's only a couple of inches shy, 5 centimeters shy of what he vaulted in Rio. for his season's best.
I bet you he goes to 6 meters now. I bet he does. He'll want to approach the 6:03 that Prague jumped in the Olympic Games. Ruth Betier attempting 2 meters and 2 for the third and final time. Can she do this? The Olympic champion for the 198 passed at 2 meters. This is her third and final attempt, not to be. Nevertheless, to come away from the Olympic Games in Rio, to come back here and to perform as she's done. 198 is 1 centimeter higher than she achieved in the Olympic Games, but it was the manner of the clearances. She's got a lot more in the tank. Laverne Spencer, season's best, withdrew from the event. 196, still maintained second. And Betier then on 41 points from Spencer, 25, Troost, 14. We promised you 6 meters. Well, here it is from Renaud Lavillenie. If he's made the adjustments on the uprights, then it may well be that he can get clear of this. Very fast. Oh, no. No. And there's the pole vault result. 593 Lavillenie over Kendricks, with Kudlika 571 in third place. 52 points to Lavillenie, unassailable lead. Kendricks on 30, and Barber, the world champion, the Canadian, not in top form at the moment, in third. I know we've got a 3,000 metre race coming up, and here's the start list for you.
Yes, indeed. And what a start list it is. No Kenyans in the Olympic 5,000 metres final. 5 of them start here, plus 2 Kenyans as pacemakers. What a field it is. Ryan Gregson in great form. The 9th placer in the Olympic 1,500 metres, looking for a big personal best here, the Australian. He's only run 7:47. He's worth 10 seconds and more better than that. Yomif Kajelcha with a point to prove, the world indoor champion over this distance back in March. Wasn't selected for the Rio team for Ethiopia. Makisi Benabad, of course, the man who took the bronze medal in the steeplechase after the disqualification of Ezekiel Kemboi. Gebriwe in great form, the bronze medalist in the Rio 5,000. So are they going to hit that 60-second tempo that's been requested? Conditions, well, perhaps a little too warm and humid for 3,000 metres. It's obviously suited the women in the 3,000 metre steeplechase after that fabulous world record, 40 minutes or so ago from Ruth Jabet, 8:52 she ran. It was good for the 800 metre runners, Kit Keita winning in 1:42.8. And of course for Laura Muir with that British record of 3:55 in the 1,500 metres for her victory. They have gone off quickly here though, and there don't look to be too many takers initially behind Rono, the first pacemaker, who's looking to take him to 1,000 in 2:30, and Cheboy, who will take him through to 2,000 in 5 minutes, as has been predicted. Chelimo, the Olympic silver medalist, in second place. Ran a 5,000 personal best for that Rio silver of 13:03. But in making his debut for 3,000 outdoors, Stuart Chelimo, so short of a personal best. Women's long jump, well, third place was Sania Balta of Estonia. Balta producing her best in the very first round. She's a good athlete, the 29-year-old, 4th in the European Championships, 6th in the Olympic Games in Rio with 6:79. This one, almost as good as her Rio performance in the final, 6:75 to open her account. She couldn't produce anything better in her subsequent 5 jumps.
Well, Lorraine Hugen, who had a disappointing Olympics really, came through with a season's best in the second round of this long jump competition. That ended in second place. It was 6:80. She had real problems in the Olympic Games, of course. But then, of course, it was left to Ivana Spanovic.
Yes, and Spanovic, of course, a real banker. Twice World Championship bronze medalist, the 26-year-old Serb. Winner in Lausanne 48 hours ago with 6:83. That coming just a week or so after a bronze medal in Rio with 7 meters and 8 centimeters. Spanovic here only took 2 jumps. This in the second round after no jump in the first round. 6:19. I don't know if she's carrying a niggle. There's no strapping there, but she retired after this jump. 6 meters 90, stayed out in front ahead of Huygens, 6 meters 80, and it was indeed a win for the Serb. There it is, confirmation by 10 centimeters, victory for Ivana Spanovic in Serbia. Great win, Huygens 680 with that season's best. 56 points makes Spanovic way out in front. Can't be caught now. Well, this has been metronomic pacemaking. 59.7 that lap. Absolutely brilliant. They went through 4.5 laps, almost spot on 4 minutes 30. And Higuita is feeding off this well. He's second fastest in the world this year behind Mo Farah with the 7:36 he ran to win earlier on in the season, Higuita. That, of course, was in Rabat on the 22nd of May. Chelimo driving on strongly up the back straight. They'll go through 5 laps there in 4:59.2, and it's down to Higuita, and he's got about 20 meters there. And Miku, I think, dropping back now as they come round the crown of the bend. It is Rop in second, Gebriwet in third, has maintained his effort well. Edris and then Kejelcha. Quite a little Ethiopian dust-up going on behind there. As Higuita comes through, we're looking for 5:30. Everyone wants to maintain this tempo, and in fact he's accelerated 5:28.5, something like that, a 58.5 lap. He's turning the screws to it really cleverly to maintain that gap between the others. So even if they accelerate, they're not going to close the gap significantly.
Well, it certainly looks good to go underneath 7:30, doesn't he? At the rate he's going, he doesn't look to be tiring at all, and the others are a long way back. He's got a lap and a half to go in this race. They are closing a little bit. Kejelcha looks to me to be making some headway, but he's still got good cadence, good leg speed as Higuita, as he goes round that bend past the 200-meter mark. So he's got about a lap and 150 meters to go here. Still looks very, very fresh indeed. Now he'll soon be in the home straight, and then with 100 meters, they are closing a little bit. But if he can maintain this sort of pace, then this is going to be very, very quick indeed.
Well, just under 500 to run for Higuita. Kejelcha has now eased himself into second place with Rop in third. But this is probably the best distance for Higuita. That's his problem. And it's not, of course, a major championship distance outdoors. He's a fabulous 1,500-meter runner. Has run a long way under 3:30. He's a great 5,000-meter runner. Has broken 13 minutes. But at neither distance does he really meet the best and beat the best on a regular basis. But at 3,000, he has that potential. And he's making a good fist of this one now, although the chase is on. Kejelcha, with that rolling style of his, the very, very lean 19-year-old Ethiopian, world indoor champion in Portland last March, beginning to close. Just under 7 minutes at 7 laps, and look at the gap, closing with every stride. As Higuita on the turn, isn't even aware that the Ethiopian's coming at him. 130 to run, and Kejelcha on the shoulder of Higuita now for the first time, and the Moroccan hasn't been able to respond. He's out on his feet, a telltale little glance over his shoulder there. He cannot go with it. Kejelcha has judged this to perfection, easing away to a 10-meter plus win. And watch the clock, 7:28.2. Higuita in second place, Gebriwet in third. Brilliant running there from Ryan Hill to take a fourth, I think, for the USA. But Kejelcha winning in 7:28.19. It's a world junior record, a world under 20 record, as it's called these days.
Fastest time in the world this year. And absolutely superb by Kejelcha.
Kejelcha 7:28.19. A world under 20 record for the Ethiopian. Higuita 7:30.09, a personal best for the Moroccan. And Gebriwet again close to sub 7:30 in third place. Edris then on 30 points. Kejelcha with 10 added to his tally on 22 now. Could catch Edris come the final.
Well, the men's 100 meters coming up now. Well, right on the inside, Uja, been to the Olympic Games, missed the Olympic final by 2 1/1000ths of a second. A young man with lots of potential. He's only 22. He was fourth in his semi-final in 10.01. Didn't go through. Kim Collins then next to him. 5th Olympics, Rio. So far, he says, I've retired 3 times, but the youngsters keep bringing me back. I keep beating them. His personal best set this season, incidentally, sub-10 again. Lemaitre will be in the third lane. I'm just looking to see where he is, whether he's... Lemaitre seems to me to have pulled out. Lemaitre's gone. So Collins to Sabine and Vico. And Rogers, that's Vico. The Frenchman promised much in the European Championships, didn't perform well at all. Was faster in the semi-final than the final of the Olympic Games, incidentally, Vico. But that's Mike Rogers, a former indoor specialist who got to the Olympic Games. They got a bronze in the relay, then got disqualified for a baton change problem. That's Matey of the Ivory Coast. He ran well, actually, in Lausanne, 10:01. He was second in that. Martina, well, what can you say about a 19.81 200 metres, a national record? Superb run from the Netherlands in Lausanne. And Ferron, a young Briton, he's only, well, he's 27, I should say, a young Briton. He's 9.96 this season. The wind speed was 2 metres exactly.
On your mark.
Ujar, Collins, Simbini, Vico, Rogers, Matey, Martina and Ferron. The men's 100 metres. It's going to be a close one of the first order, this. The very first time, Collins going well. Vico's been well left behind. Matey coming through very strongly at the moment, and Matey, I think, is going to take this. He does take it, and that looked like Simbine of South Africa in second place at the time, 9.97. That's another good run by Ben Matey of the Ivory Coast. Terrific. He came through very, very strongly at the end. Collins always gets away well, but Matey in those bright orange shorts coming through. Vico very poorly away. Rogers not able to match Matey. Watch on the near side, Martina come through. Look at him at the end. He's so strong in the final stages, you can never discount him. There's the result of the men's 100 metres. Matey 9.96 equals his national record. Simbine of South Africa 10 dead, and Churandi Martina 10.01, a season's best, with Joel Ferron of Great Britain just 4 100ths behind third place. Gatlin still rules the roost at 20, Matey on 16 and Rogers on 13, but remember, double points in the finals.
It's been a quite outstanding night here in the Stade de France. National records, world record for Ruth Chebet, remember that steeplechase 8.52, and a world junior record for Kejelcha in the 3,000 metres.
That's it from Paris. The penultimate Diamond League meeting of 2016 comes from Zurich, and we've got highlights on Saturday the 3rd of September at 1:15 on BBC One. Then it's Brussels and the final Diamond League of 2016. Highlights are on BBC One Saturday the 10th of September at 1:10. From all of us, goodbye.